Samuel Barber's Hermit songs rank among the most popular sets of the 20th century. They cast a spell over the listener as they invite us into the cloistered yet rich and multifaceted world of monastic life. In the early 1950s, Barber visited Donegal, Ireland, the homeland of his ancestors. He went to explore the locales of his favorite authors Yeats and Joyce, but while in Donegal he became infatuated with medieval Irish and Gaelic poetry composed by monks between the 8th and the 13th centuries. Barber wrote home to his uncle to tell him about his discovery, saying, "The poems were written by monks and scholars, often on the margins of the manuscripts they were copying or illuminating, perhaps not always meant to be seen by their father superiors. They are small poems, thoughts or observations, some very short, and speak in straightforward, droll, and often surprisingly modern terms about the simple life these men led, close to nature, animals, and to God." Barber selected 10 of his favorites and created a wonderfully cohesive yet diverse ensemble that runs the gamut of mood and style, ranging from the devout and mystical to the surprisingly lighthearted and worldly. The first of the set is called At St. Patrick's Purgatory. It begins with the sound of pealing chapel bells of the medieval church on Station Island in Loch Derg, which housed the penitential cells where Irish monks often went on their pilgrimages. Their harsh journey involved days of fasting and prayer. Here, a tormented monk prays for God's pity for his inability to express remorse for his sins.
Pity me on my pilgrimage to Loch Derg, O King of the churches and the bells, bewailing your souls and your wounds, but not a tear can I squeeze from my eye.
Some of the songs are about ecstatic visions of the saints. A particularly touching example can be heard in the third song of the set, St. Ita's Vision. The celebrated and celibate 6th century nun is heard crooning a gently rocking lullaby as she experiences a mystical vision of nursing the baby Jesus at her own breast.
Infant Jesus at my breast, nothing in this world is true, save, O tiny nursling you. Infant Jesus at my breast, by my...
A favorite of the set is The Monk and His Cat, which was inspired by an 8-line poem inscribed into a manuscript called the Reichenauer Primer. It commemorates the cozy relationship between a scholarly monk and his pet cat, Pangur. Barber's intimately charming setting conjures an image of contented human feline friendship.
Pangur, white Pangur, how happy we are, alone together, scholar and cat.
The powerful finale of the set is called The Desire for Hermitage. The poem was written by a monk as he prepared to take leave of the world. The appeal of the introverted, hermetic life had great resonance for Barber himself, who often retreated into his own cocoon of creative solitude. In this deeply moving song, we hear Barber's personal musings on the nature of a life lived alone.
To be all alone in a little cell with nobody near me. Beloved, that pilgrimage before
Hermit songs were premiered at the Library of Congress in October of 1953 by the great American soprano Leontine Price with Samuel Barber at the piano. It was the beginning of a long and rewarding musical partnership, and after his death in 1982, she wrote, "For a singer, Barber's music is always a challenge, but the end product is so rewarding and so terribly vocal, you can't wait to pick up another piece of his. It also falls intellectually to the mind and beautifully on the ear, which is a rare combination." The Met's leading lyric tenor, Matthew Polenzani, and the great collaborative pianist Ken Noda were a similarly sympathetic musical partnership in their recital in late March of 2015. Please enjoy their illuminating performance of Barber's Hermit songs.
Panger, white Panger, how happy we are, alone together, scholar and cat.